All right. Let's see. Is it continuing? Okay. All right. Sorry for the beginning of that. I was testing out to see if I could run some music in the background on my phone from my Bluetooth to my stereo while I was on the live. I know that wouldn't be the most convenient per se, maybe for you guys, but I feel like if I had it on a low volume, that you could still hear me talk with the music slightly up. But we're just gonna have the sounds of the engine, which we don't mind in the drift truck, and we're just gonna chuck this up in this suction mount and just go for a little cruise. I had got some film, some footage, I should say, off of live, and I will be posting that. So stay tuned for that. I did actually briefly make a short of one of the corners I hit. Oh, great. Should I wait? No, I'll just cruise. So these S10s, and Sonomas, these second gens, they can have an issue with the with that little chip or whatever it is for the wiper motor, right? It's like a resistor for like the speeds or what have you. Some of those contacts over the years will rattle loose. You can obviously buy a new one. They're like 20-30 bucks, but I know that you can pull them apart and you can just heat up the soldering points and resolder the cracked solder, because what happens is sometimes, like on a moist or rainy day like today, it will just cut out and my windshield wipers will not work for a period of time. My last S10 did that. And what's annoying too is sometimes it'll glitch out to where it's just sitting there and they're staying on like full speed for like a minute or two straight and you cannot turn them off. That can be frustrating as hell, right? So that's something I need to do. I just keep forgetting. It doesn't bother me too much because I was dailying a YJ Wrangler for a while that had a blown out windshield wiper motor, and it was like $100-something, so I fucking dailied it with no windshield wiper motor for the longest. Actually, I'd never changed it. I ended up getting rid of that thing after like a year and a half of owning it with never having windshield wipers, right? So it doesn't bother me too much with it glitching out periodically, but it's something that I need to, get off my ass and fix. Because I procrastinate those little things that aren't that big of a deal, and then it just stacks up, one thing after another, little stuff like that. It just makes your rig overall not as nice and convenient as it could be. And let me tell you, on a dry day when you don't need the windshield wipers, and say you go to spray it with a wiper fluid, right, and then they don't turn on, and you're just sitting there with bubbly fluid all over your windshield and you can't even wipe it off. Or they're just sitting there winging, full speed for 2 minutes straight. People around you are looking at you like you're an idiot, like, bro, turn off your wipers, But let's see. Oh, I don't know why. My bad, folks. I had this mount chucked up horizontal. My apologies. I didn't even notice. Hang on. With this mount, I had it horizontal, right? I didn't notice I forgot to set it vertical, and I'm gonna pull over and get this set right because it's all out of whack now. But yeah, whenever I'm trying to do some long form content, obviously a lot of it's gonna be horizontal and not vertical. I'm gonna get this right. I should have obviously hopped on the live a little bit ago when I was sliding the truck around. But not always, can we document every great moment. There's many moments where I wish it would have been on film, or wish that it would have got a better point of view. It's just part of it. Once I get more set up to film easier, like with the GoPro, this, that, the other, to where I can run my GPS on my phone while I'm filming with the GoPro, that's gonna be pretty nice. I don't know how I'm gonna go about doing lives that setup. I think I'll still just film on my phone doing like a live, but that will be convenient for the long form videos that are not live. We got someone in this parking lot. If there wasn't someone here, I would do some skids because this looks like a decent little spot. But we're gonna get this unhooked. I'm gonna see if we got any comments. We got one viewer, one like. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. We are gonna get this mount a little bit nicer. And let's see. How do I have this set up? I don't know if the point of view with like the tachometer is a big deal to you guys. I don't know if that's like a point of view that is you know, more important than getting more center in the windshield, right? Let me know on that, whoever's watching. Kind of curious. I know people are going to be different. Me personally, I like to see the tachometer, speedometer if possible. Let's see. I don't think if I turn this light on, yeah, it's really not going to give me too much other than like on my face or whatever. You can't see much of it reflecting on the dash. I am kind of fishbowling here. I have a little bit of tint that was on the truck on the sides, but like I said in a past video, if any of you had watched, I did rip off the tint on the back, so fishbowling feels a little bit weird. So hopefully this person over here is not staring, but I really don't care too much, right? But I would be hitting some skids here, like I said a second ago, but with that person just sitting there, I'm not gonna trust them. They could be just sitting there smoking, doing whatever, but I don't know if they're like a Karen or someone that works around this area, so I'm just gonna play it safe. Plus I need to do another tire check. With my tires getting this low, I need to be consistently checking them even though it is raining out, because, you know, I'm not just sitting here saying I daily slide this thing and I don't. I really do slide this, guys. It like nobody's business. I'm not easy on this truck. It is slid every single day in the dry or the wet. And, you know, maybe out of like a 30-day month, there might be one day maybe that I'm not sliding it. And that's a very rare scenario. And most likely that's because I have something heavy in the back and I'm hauling it, right? Because even if I have the camper shell on, I still get it sideways. I don't care. But not sure how long I'm going to be on the live for. If anybody wants to, you know, leave a comment and let me know to get outside the truck, pop the hood, I will. You know, with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and BS too long, but I figured maybe I could reach some of the folks with the oddball schedules that might be up right now, don't have any content that is live that they're interested in. Maybe this is something that would catch your interest. So hopefully that's the case. Maybe we can even reach one new subscriber with this live. That would be sick. If not, that's okay. You know, I appreciate, you know, I got one viewer and one like. The big positivity vibes over here. And we're not going to let the low viewership at a late time like this get us down, right? Because that is just ignorant to sit there and, you know, try to get upset about. Not that I get upset easy with not getting attention like with lives, because I don't care about that. I'm not an attention seeking guy, but I do like to shoot the shit with fellow S10 folks, because I do miss, you know, chatting back and forth with people about cars, because you know, I'm just not one of the people that have like a whole bunch of friends that I like contact regularly, right? I have some old homies and stuff, but I'm not like the biggest on having a giant, you know, 2 handfuls of friends. So most of my interaction is going to be my dogs, my girlfriend, and you know, on the live, whatever I'm doing here on the content. And that's okay, and I kind of like it that way. Honestly, I think it's better to have kind of a small group of friends instead of just having way too many. That's just too much shit to keep track of. Unless you just have you just happen to have a lot of good friends, right? That's just not normally the case for a lot of people. Because, you know, a lot of folks can do you dirty or what have you. Should we slide this corner, guys? If anybody was watching, I'm not sure. Hopefully the camera's still in the mount. Yeah, it is. All right. Hopefully we get, yo, what is up? I'm going to check the comments in a second. I just started cruising again. I only have one watcher, one like that I really appreciate. I had no comments yet, so I started to cruise, but I'll pull over here. Oh, I think I know where I'm at. Pretty sure I do anyways. I would be sliding this, but I'm gonna pull over here so I'm going to take it easy on the skidding for a second, answer some comments. I don't know if I'm going to have any questions or what, but we shall see. I appreciate anybody watching. And like I've said before, I promise to bring you folks some better high quality content. When I get, the GoPro, everything, better points of view too with the tripod. I need to actually dedicate a weekend when I get some fresh tires, go out and do like a drift day and try and just film, right? Because I am the worst about just sliding and not getting stuff on film, because sometimes it's just not the most convenient. You just want to slide in the moment. But let's see. Green Leader 81. Hey, brother, I'm watching from New Zealand. No way. That's what's up. I'm over here in Oregon in the USA. I appreciate you watching from over in New Zealand. That is sick. I got three gold Fruins whipping a 2007 G35. Oh, okay. Nice. Mine is a 2000 Chevrolet S10. Let me know, Green Leader, have you followed the channel whatsoever, or are you a new viewer? Because if so, I will hop out and show you my drift truck. I'm glad to do that. Feel free to ask any questions. Until you mention that, I'm not gonna sit here and ramble on about the build, just in case you have been following the truck. I don't want to bore you guys to death with repeating myself, right? Bet that G35 is fun to whip around. But and I'm curious, when you said 3 gold Fruins, what's a Fruin? I'm not familiar with what that is. I'm assuming that's some model of car over there that I'm not familiar with. So I'm very curious what that is, because I'm sure it looks sick. I just saw you in my feed, bro, and thought I'd watch. Okay, sick. I'll hop out and show you the truck. So to start with, I guess from the inside, we're rocking a Momo wheel. This one is a knockoff, but it's a very high quality. It's an S10, 5-speed. The interior's not too fancy yet, but this is the truck. Got a Eurostyle hood vent on there. Some 14x7 aluminums. I gotta polish them up again. They're real dirty. But I was running some Steelies. Let me know in the chat, folks. I ruined one of these on an unfortunate day. I didn't have a spare. Had to ride it out like 15 miles on the rim. But let me know, should I get one more of those and run them on the truck? I went with the gold because the Chevrolet was gold on the back. I figured it would accent it pretty decent. I was kind of thinking about running them black, maybe getting a black one and then painting these to match. Oh yeah, that's my color, man. Nice. Oh, sick. Small circle. Okay. But I'll pop the hood for you on this. This is a 2.2 liter. I am running HP tuners. Got the decal there to support it. Running Borla exhaust too. Sounds pretty decent. I don't have my tripod with me. I only have my suction mount, so bear with me just for a moment when I open the hood. All right. Let's see here. And I'll get the light going for you guys too, so you can see. Okay. This is the setup. So normally this intake is set up here a little higher. The rubber grommet had cracked loose because my motor mounts are old, and it wiggled around so much it cracked that. But gold on green is mean. Oh, thank you. Nice intake. I appreciate it. This is a direct knockoff of the AEM. I got this for like a little less than $70, and the AEM's like $350, which is stupid for a little 4-banger, right? But normally it tucks up a little more proper. I gotta do a mount. I just don't want to do it so crappy in a rush, and it doesn't hurt it just kind of floating around, right? But we got a header in there, some 10mm high performance wires, NGK iridiums on the end. We have some performance ignition coils. We're running Screaming Demons. We have the electric fan modification. I still got to do a lightweight battery. I don't know if I'm going to go behind the seat on the firewall, but let's see. The overflow reservoir, I've taken that off, kind of trimmed the engine bay a little bit. Some other mods, but that's a lot of the power mods. We have a stage 2 clutch, lightweight flywheel, but it gets sideways, man. What horse is it putting down? So factory is like 120 to the flywheel, and I am definitely doing probably 140 or so. And that's with crappy tuning, man. I don't have a wideband. Obviously, you could tell in my cluster, I only have a tachometer in there. I plan to do boost gauge and wideband, and once I have the wideband, I can actually, you know, tune a lot better. I'm doing just kind of backyard janky tuning with what I know is safe, how I can get a little bit of pops and bangs. So that's what I'm doing. It's running really rich when, you know, with the power instrument setup that I have going. But it does fine. Oh, I need to get this this hood down. It's racking with the windshield wipers on there. I threw this Icon Motorsports hood vent on there. Let me know what you think. Kind of a JDM look. I've never seen an S10 with one, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Got some of the low profile mirrors. A lot more aerodynamic, a lot more sleek looking compared to the ones that were on it. My G is pushing 325. Nice. That's good. That's a good amount of power. This one, honestly, when it's boosted with built internals, I don't think it's ever going to be above 300. With that being said, I don't know. I'm going to be happy around 250. It's going to take a bit to get there. Stock internals boosted with my setup, I think I'm going to comfortably sit at 175 without any NOS. Maybe a little bit of spray, a little 25 shot, I could get it sitting about 200. But once I do the custom cam in it, some built internals, she'll hold up pretty well. I got to do the head work, you know, the 7500 Beehive springs, the plus 1 millimeter valves, all that. So I get it higher in the RPMs to really get some more of that power out of this, you know, small displacement engine. But I'm doing something different and trying to stir the pot a little bit for the V8 folks. I love V8s. I love S10s with V8s in them, but I just want to sit here and prove to the guys that think that that's all you should do in a mini truck. I'm going to prove them wrong, right? I know it's been done before, but I'm going to do it in my way and tastefully. Let's see, I subbed, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Any sub counts. It just helps reach more followers, and I'm glad I reached you, right? I hope you enjoy the content, and, you know, even if a lot of it is stuff that you may already know, you might learn a little bit here and there, or just enjoy me, you know, putting this truck sideways. Sadly, the other night I wasn't filming. I was drifting for like an hour and a half, and I cooked the back of my truck right here a little bit. It was so clean back here, but it is what it is, right? The bed's not the most clean. I had to do some welding. I never finished painting it out and sanding it, doing the Bondo and paint. But that was from a camper shell that had sit on here. I'd cut that out, ran out of wire. I was moving apartments, so I never got around to it, kind of left it. But now that this is beat up, I almost don't even care about that, right? We're gonna see if I'm gonna keep the roll pan. I'm thinking about maybe pulling that off and doing like a tubular setup for like a quick jack point that you see on a lot of drift cars, like a, you know, 350Z or what have you. So we'll see. Let's see. Haha, it's character, bro. Few scars are good. Definitely. I like V8s, but at $3 a liter for gas, dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much. Has someone making sure I was all right. That's really nice. They saw the hood, probably thought I was broke down. But let me answer this. Let's see. I like V8s, but at $3, yeah. So that's the thing, man, with this build is it's a daily, and I'm just going for gas mileage and having fun, you know. I'm in Oregon, so it's always wet here, as you can tell. You don't need a shitload of power to slide in the wet with a mini truck, right? Oh, and I am cambered. It's gonna be hard to see. Let me get this light off of here. Maybe it'll help. I am sitting, I need to get my digital Klein angle finder out. I'm sitting over 10 degrees negative for sure on a custom choppy homemade setup, which I'm gonna make a video about. But let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything, right? 'Cause it's easy to miss one comment. But anyways, this is the setup. It's not the fanciest, but it will be tastefully done over time. I will probably end up doing a custom aluminum intake, you know, TIG something up. Once I am boosted, I'll probably want to do something prettier there. But I don't mind the plastic because it's super lightweight and no heat soak really, compared to like an alloy one. I am gonna clean up that valve cover, some of this I'll sand and polish, try to, you know, kind of give us some tuner vibes, something a little cleaner. I got to get rid of this ABS module BS. It's unplugged, it's not running, the fuse is out, because that shit's way dangerous on these S10s. But she tidy, I appreciate it. Little stuff here and there, you know, like evap delete that pulls out a little crap under the hood. It's a base model, so we're not running any AC, that helps. Mechanical fan out of there, a lot more room, you know, to be running a turbo when the time comes. Done a lot of research. A lot of form digging over the years. This is my second build on one of these. I really regret getting rid of the first one, but you know, here we are, and we're going to document the process on this. But I have a fair amount of angle. I'm not referring to the camber. I'm referring to, you know, the steering angle itself. It's not too bad where it's at right now, I feel like. Let me know what you think, man. I'm really kind of missing having the deep dishes on here. I'm a deep dish type of guy. I went with these to get cheaper tires because the 14s are a lot cheaper to get than 15s for the rubber. But man, the tire prices are going up, so I'm almost like, shit, should I just get another wide steely and paint match them and throw it on? I don't know. I like the class of the aluminum, but you guys let me know what you're thinking. I think these look kind of like BBS's almost in a way. And they look pretty slick how I have them sanded and polished up, because that's not how they came from factory. They were just kind of like a choppy machine cut with a clear coat, and I sanded all the lines out from the CNC, all by hand and everything, and polish it up myself. So let me know what you think. What would look more sick? Those Steelies without the 3-inch spacers, they still stick out another inch or two wider than these. So I kind of miss that look. Simmons all the way. Curious what you're saying on Simmons all the way. Are you referring to the wheels? What are you referring to as Simmons all the way? Because that could have been a typo on accident. I do a lot of typos when I'm typing because I do it quick. Or it might be terminology I'm not familiar with. But this is the truck. And here, let's get a little underglow going. I am running an underglow setup in here. Let's pull this out. Ooh, got some static, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this lady called the cops on me, think I'm gonna try to slide this parking lot. I know better. There's gonna be a shitload of people working here, right? So I know I'm not gonna be doing that. They're gonna be stocking the store overnight, so. But let's see. Stunt. Okay, all right. This is the setup with the underglow. A little Amazon kit. Originally $40. I got it for like 24. It does the job. It ain't too bad. I'm not in a super dark area. As you can tell, it's lit up all over, so it's not gonna pop like it should. But it's pretty clean. I've got it ran where you can't see any of the bulbs themselves, only the ambient light. I feel like that makes quite a bit of a difference with it looking super cheesy or not. And then, you know, color preference too is going to make a difference on if it looks cheesy to you. Some people don't like underglow, but these budget underglow kits, man, these LED ones are getting just so good now for the price. But I appreciate the 2 likes and the 11 people watching. I got 1 sub that I know of so far during the video. I appreciate you a lot. Green Leader, much appreciated. But let's do a little tire check here in a second. We are sitting heavier on the passenger side than this side. So you can see this camber, it's not near as heavy. So you can tell she's tilted though. Definitely tilted. And I noticed that these tires wear out a lot faster than the other ones because they're stretched so much harder on the wide wheels that it's going to wear out that inside stretch corner a lot more than one that's not dramatically stretched. But that has a lot to do with my alignment. My alignment's ass right now. I have home cut coils. I forgot to account for the driver's side sag when I cut my coils because I was doing so much that day. I cut them even, so they're not quite even. I need to do a little more cutting or just buy some. I'll probably just buy some so the spring rate's more proper. That's probably the best bet because, you know, not even $150 on eBay I can get that done. I will be dropping it 3 more inches in the back. I'm only running 4-inch lowering blocks. I have to C-notch the frame. I'm going to buy a bolt-on one and then do the 3-inch spring, so it'll be a total of 7. But that's the plan so far. Exhaust, we're running catless. We are running a stainless header down to a 2.5-inch downpipe and then 3-inch cat delete test tube all the way back. Borla stainless muffler. That's the setup. I feel like I'm probably missing some stuff, guys. The cold air is a real setup, so I cut the core support out. So it is a real cold air. There's normally a shield in here, a metal shield, but it rattled a little bit, and I want to insulate it and do something a little more custom. So that's out at the moment until I get this mounted up more proper. But that's it. Oh, I'm running a larger throttle body off a Buick Skylark. Man, lower the back, not important. Yeah, I'm definitely... So the reason why I haven't lowered the back is just because drivability, because I daily it all the time, right? I'm doing a lot of miles in this thing. And as it sits, S10s, like their frames hang so much lower than the truck, right? And it's hard to tell without like a body kit, but it sits real low and I'm dragging on a lot of shit. So I really have just kind of put off the, lowering the back just for drivability for now, and because I want to get performance mods. I kind of wanted to get the HB tuners before I got the turbo kit and all that, so I can tune it properly without grenading the little engine, right? But that's the plan. There is a little C-notch kit on Marketplace. I was thinking about trying to just wait a few months, see if it's still there, and then hopefully he'll be desperate and just sell it for real cheap. That's how I try to get a lot of parts, because it is a budget build, but it doesn't always work out like that. So we'll see. It's been on there for a while. I'm probably going to hit him up and try and get that. If it doesn't work out, then I'll try and do a, pay for it myself or do a sponsored video. Closing the hood right now, folks. But so going to be doing that C-notch before too long and dropping the rear. What else? Because I know like the bushings and the leaf springs are shot, 25 years old. I need to do bushings, like polyurethane bushings on my sway bars. I threw a rear sway bar in the truck. They don't come with one factory unless it's like an extreme or something like that, a special model. I did that bigger front sway bar, the 33 mil off of a 2-wheel drive Blazer. That helps get it pretty sturdy compared to the thin front one that was like a 25 mil. I have energy suspension end links on it, the bushings. But I don't have the inners yet because I got the wrong ones at the store. I didn't bring my calipers to double check. And I bought 2 sets that were fucking wrong. One of them didn't fit the bar right, but it fit, the bracket, and then the other one was vice versa. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, man, It's like that sometimes. Let's see, let's make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, I didn't miss any comments. I appreciate the 2 likes, 10 people watching. Like I said earlier, I would slide in this parking lot. This is a nice parking lot, but I'm not going to name where it is. If it wasn't in the video, I'm sure it probably was a few times, but I just know better. They're gonna call somebody up on my ass. Plus, they said the lights are going to be turning off here soon, so I'll probably roll out any minute. But I don't know. We might get some shots with all these lights off. Maybe I will stay here for a bit. If you guys want me to, I can throw some different colors with the underglow. Do something like that. But let me know. Oh shit, I forgot to do my tire check, guys. Sitting here rambling, just kind of going off with what I'm saying, and I'm forgetting to check my tires because it's no joke. I am running wires on this side for like the last week. I don't know. All this rain's been helping. Let's see. Gotta go, mate. Good luck. Hey, thank you for stopping in, subbing, liking, commenting, everything. I appreciate you a lot, and take it easy, man. All right, let's see. I can't quite see, folks, but I can feel the wires with my hand. I'm not trying to prick myself because I know better. It's not all the way around the tire, luckily, though. Man, I really need to sand the side. I started sanding this side. Ooh, they just kicked the lights off, guys. Let's get some underglow going. I need to sand this side. I only started by knocking off the rusty-ass center caps because they were steel. And a light sand. I did a 3-stage sand on these. I did like a 6 or 800. I think a 800. No, it was a 6, then 1,000, then a 25. I think at one point I ended up doing a 4-stage, like I had bought like a 2,000 grit and did another step between, and then I finished with like a mother's polish, all by hand. I had an orbital sander, but I didn't want it to sit there and dish out the wheels and fuck the surface up with it being aluminum. So yeah, let's get a little underglow on the truck going, And let's see. Anyone that is modifying anything, even a stock rig, you know, that's a given. You better slap that bad boy in there. So light me up in the comments, right? I've been lazy. I haven't hardwired this in where I just do it with the remote because it's kind of convenient like this for now. But it does have a pigtail where it comes apart right here to just do the hardwire real quick, and then I just go with that, right? So, you know, light me up in the comments with me being lazy. Maybe that'll motivate me to mess with it, right? Let's hop out the truck and see what she's looking like. So we got the green on green. I do have lights under the seat and the dash. I got to double check which ones are hooked up. I think the dash is hooked up, but not under the seat because I ripped the carpet out because it had holes in there, it's trapping water. This is the setup, folks. We will do a walk around. I think it looks pretty sick considering how cheap it was with the underglow. I do think possibly, I will talk about in a second with the calculation, the miscalculation on the length. But I am debating splicing another kit to throw some in here to make it hit this back patch, because I didn't notice it was LED bulbs was the count. It was like a 72 by 54. I thought it meant inches, and that was LED count on each strip. So pay attention when you're doing that because it might not be as long as you want, but overall it's not too bad. I feel like the ambient light isn't too terrible. I think it looks pretty gnarly on the front. Hopefully we don't get too much glare from these headlights. But it comes through the grill pretty sweet. And what I really like is looking through the scoop. Might not pick up the best here, but when you're cruising, you can see the light through the big hood vent. Sometimes I'll call it a scoop. I know it's a damn hood vent, not a scoop. We're gonna get inside the truck because I know it's a little breezy. Let me know if it's affecting the quality of the audio. If it is way too choppy, I'm gonna hop in. I think I'm just gonna do that anyways. But hey, we got 24 people watching. I appreciate y'all. This is the 2.2 liter drift build. We're gonna sit here and prove to all the folks that you can build a drift truck with the 4-cylinder on a budget. You don't have to have a damn V8 and a S10. I love my V8s. I love the V8 S10s. That's cool. They haul ass. This build's not for hauling ass. This is for getting sideways, having fun, having gas mileage, you know, getting smiles every day with it. Plus, who's drove a fast car and daily driving traffic? It's not the best. I'd rather drive something slow with the 5-speed that I can just beat the hell out of each gear and barely even break speed limits, right? Versus having something with a lot of horsepower. It's cool, but it's chewing up your gas. You can't even sit there and have too much fun with it. My tire wear is way less on this. You know, I'm not having issues with drive shafts. No, like, you know, I could run the stock rear end with how much power I'm running. Because you folks know, if you've ever ran anything with high power, I'm not talking a fucking 200, 250 horsepower V8. Anything high power, you're breaking shit, man. And that's just not the case with a small tire, low power setup like this. Not sure if you can see much, but we are cambered. Thinking about running clears on the back, I'm not sure. I did swap this from all smoked lights when I bought it to go with like an OEM light look. Let me know what you think about that. Obviously, you know, I threw the roll pan, so that's not like an OEM look, but I think they look pretty slick that way. But this is the build. We got the factory seat. I do have 6-point harnesses I'm gonna throw up in there. They are some TRS, some real good quality ones from overseas. And we're gonna see how they work out with this factory seat. My last Drift S10, I did Corbu bucket seats in there, fixed back. They were really sick, but I think from a budget standpoint, since I got the belts for $100 for both, they're like brand new. They're just out of date, which is not a big deal for a drift setup. I think I'm gonna see what happens with this seat and try and get it in here to where, you know, it's almost like a racing seat, right? Because it has the headrest here where it drops down. And I really feel like, it's kind of dark right there, you can't see with this view, but I really feel like it would work out quite well. We're gonna see. It's gonna be trial and error. There's no video or forums I've found online thus far about it. So hopefully this is gonna be a first one that's documented, right? I know that there's no chance that I'm probably the first guy that's ever done it in the history of, like, you know, putting harnesses in S10s, because there's got to be a few folks that have done it, but, you know, being recorded, that I can't find anything on it, so that'll be sick. Hopefully that's the case. I'll flip the hat back just a little bit so I'm not putting too big of a shadow on my face right now. Let me know if you want me to hop out, do a different color on the underglow on the truck, kind of see what that Amazon underglow kit looks like. Right now, you know, it's not sponsored. There's no link in any of my videos for that. I do have a long form video on it. So it would just be, you know, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. It's just, if you want to see what it looks like, I'll do you a favor and do that. Let's see. We are sitting here. Man, it is so tempting to want to go slide this parking lot, but I know better. I know there's probably some MFer over there just hiding, just waiting out, like, okay, let's see if that truck with that underglow is going to be stupid, you know. Not going to. I've been there. But let me know what you guys think on the build. I haven't got any comments since Green Leader has left. It would be much appreciated. If not, that's cool. I'm not going to sit here and pressure you into any comments, likes, or subscribes. That's not how I go about things. I only want you to do any of those if you genuinely like the content or want to engage back and forth, right? I am interested in any of your guys' builds, your drift setups, whether it's a car, truck, it can be S10, Sonoma, or not related to those at all. I am interested in like Cavaliers, Sunfires, anything running like a 2.2 OHV. That'd be sick to hear any of you folks that are cruising those around, because they're kind of really dying out. They're really hard to come across anybody rocking one of those that's not just clapped in like factory, right? To find one modified is kind of rare, and it's cool. And with that being said too, you know, I'm inviting, whoa, look at this. What the hell? My damn, when my hood was up and I was showing you guys, I had heard like a bang from my windshield wipers, remember? And I said I got to turn them off. This one's sitting here and this one's up here, so I guess it hit my hood and racked the teeth on the splines. I don't even know if I want to sit there and force it back, or if I should be smart and patient and actually unbolt it and do that shit. What do you guys think? That's gonna bother the hell out of me. You see that? I guess when the hood was up, it racked it and yanked it up. Should we give it a little love swipe and see if she'll click back, or should I be smart and patient and just wait till tomorrow? Oh no. Oh yeah, that's totally okay. We're gonna have to pull this cover off, mess with that. I was wanting to kind of paint these. I would like to maybe find like not a super cheesy, but kind of like a tuner-ish aluminum one with like the holes in it. That'd be kind of cool. I know it'd be kind of a waste of money, but for like an accent later down the road, that would be kind of sweet. Maybe to accent this little guy here. I'm not sure if I want to do like a plug on this. I was thinking of doing like a plug and fill, but with that being said, having this little billet aluminum piece here, not quite sure if I want to do that. But you know, time will tell. Let's see. But I appreciate you folks watching, and the 2 likes. Anyone that's watching, let me know. Should I get one more of these? Most of you probably don't know the, yo, what's up? That one tinted Boda, what is up? I probably butchered your name, but hopefully I got it somewhat close. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the wide steelies, or do you like these aluminums? I had asked the chat earlier, but let me know. I'd lost half the viewers just about now. Okay, it's picking back up. I'm kind of curious because I am on the fence of just buying another Steely because they're easy to get. They're not custom order if you don't do this color. I was thinking of just getting another black one to match because I have a third one in my storage unit. These are just my spares because the tires aren't completely blown. So I was thinking of doing another one, doing them all black maybe, throwing it on the truck, or maybe even a custom. I would like to get a powder coat set up and like powder coat my own rims so I could do like funky colors, you know, every like couple years, just mess around and do that. But I am pretty good at sanding and painting stuff, so we'll see. I don't know if I want to get into the powder coating, but that'd be kind of a cool little ordeal to do. But this finish doesn't hold up too good with the gold, so I don't know if I'd want to wait the time to get these ordered. They took like fucking 2 months to get. Not many people say my name right. Let's see. Nah, bro, you just said it correctly. Okay, sick. I'm glad I said your name correctly. Hey, W on that one for me. I'll take a win. I'll chalk it down. But this is a setup, man. It wasn't like this until just the other day. I did that drifting a bunch, but just part of the build. But yeah, man, kind of butthurt about that because I really like this body line on the S10, you know, the bed. Even though the top of my bed was kind of cooked from the camper shelf from the previous owner, I had, you know, done a lot of the welding, plugging those holes and priming it up. I was going to do the Bondo and all the body work, but now this happened. I'm kind of just like, F it. I'm just going to kind of wait, man. Kind of sucks. It cooked my roll pan a little bit. You know, my alignment with the light is off, dude. That kills me, but I have some body tools. The means I'm going to try and push this in. I do have a suction puller. I'm going to try and pull this dent out, hopefully kick this in. I don't know. I do have a welder. I can weld some little pegs here and I like use it, make a homemade knocker and rip that out. But I don't think I'm going to stress it too much because then I don't have to carry it as much when I'm sliding. But as you can tell, it just totally fucking knocked the bottom of it loose so it's not sitting flush. So we're probably going to yank that sucker off there and do a custom setup. Yes, sir. But yeah, it's just shit. BTO, you will get it. Yeah, I'll get it. It's just part of it, you know, part of the drift build. It's just there's little setbacks like the front of this. You know, I was pissed off. So when I put the locker in the front of this truck, it was on a dry day. I was feeling good, heading to work, and I had real grippy tires, right? Brand new tires on these wheels, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, brand new, these ones. And man, I put this straight into a concrete barrier, bro. Cooked my whole front end, dude. Had to get new valence, bumper, had to get new lights, grill. Some of it I got on Marketplace, some I got on eBay, but man, it really sucked, you know, getting that few $100 setback I could have put, you know, on something back here or in the interior turbo kit. But let's see, stop showing your tag, brother. People gonna find where you live. Yeah, so I thought about that right at the beginning of making these videos. I was kind of curious if that's going to be something I need to worry about. I do keep my address of like my actual apartment number to where nobody sees it right in the videos. But I feel like with how big the channel is going to get, I'm going to get a following with my truck. The way it's set up, it's easily recognizable. So once I start getting a following at meets and stuff, people are going to know who I am. They're going to know about where I live. That would be super easy to track down, I feel like, regardless, even if I wasn't doing social media. But I do appreciate you saying that, looking out. That is much appreciated because I have that in mind. You know, I thought about, should I pull my plates out for videos or should I put a cover over them? But I just really don't know that that's going to be something I'm too concerned about, right? I don't think that that it will be an issue. Hopefully not. But maybe it will be, and I'll have to change it up, right? I could have to replate this sucker, you know, some dramatic shit like that. I hope I don't. But yeah, that's my thought process on it. And I'm going to go inside the truck because it is a little choppy with the wind right now. And I don't want to have nothing but a bunch of wind for you guys to listen whipping in the audio. You low-key kind of look like Aidens. Okay, I'm not familiar with who you're referring to. The only Aidens I know, let's see, is who's that famous streamer? I think his name is Aiden something. That's the only one I can think of. But maybe I'm not thinking of who you're speaking of, and I might know of them, right? But anyways, let's see. He's got a 5th gen. Oh, okay, got a 5th gen. I probably don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I do if I don't. Most likely don't. But anyways, feel free to ask any questions about the build or 4th gen. It's a 2000 F-150 extended cab. Oh, sick. Okay. I'm curious. Oh, out of Florida. Okay, man, that's a place I've always wanted to visit, is Florida. I don't like the heat and I hate the humidity, but I think I would really get along with Florida culture. I'm from Texas originally. I'm in Oregon now, of course, but I think I get along with the Florida folks real well. But yeah, I can, you know, I'm not gonna say like I'm one of like the real gritty folks. You know, I'm a little half country, half city. But I can really vibe with a lot of Floridans and how they are as people, right? I think I respect a lot of their morals and the way they go about their lifestyle. That's just me with a lot of country folk, to a degree, right? But yeah. But that will be a destination place to check out in America. I think, me personally, I'd rather check out more of America than going outside of the country. As far as vacations and experiences, still want to go to like Maine and stuff like that. Never been to Alaska. That'd be kind of cool. But I've been to a few states, you know, but mostly between just the West Coast and Texas. Nothing really on the East Coast or too far north in the center of the country. I got the cleanest boat on the 601 for show. Okay, nice. Hey, I like that. I like how you're putting that out there nice and proud, right? Yeah, you got to rep something. You got to rep what you're happy about, what you're enjoying, what you're doing. I love that. You know, I'm sitting here, you know, repping my S10 setup. I'm not going to say I have more haters than folks that are with the build, because I don't think that's the case. But the number of haters is up there with my setup just because it's a 4-cylinder, you know. But I'll say, like, I've got one of the coolest 2.2 drift setups, I feel like, and I say that proudly. And not saying that conceitedly, but if you say it proudly and it makes you happy, I think that's a great thing. So I like how you're putting yourself out there with that hype energy. That's good shit. Let's see. I'm back, bro. Oh, what's up, Green Leader? You're back. What is up, bro? I appreciate you. Tapping in more than once. Hey, that's solid. Who would hate on an S10? Bro, you'd be surprised how many people hate on S10s. Now, it is pretty niche to find someone hating on S10s themselves, but my setup with the 4-cylinder and like putting money into modifying the 4-cylinder, I get a bunch of haters from it. And it's a good thing. I feel like it helps push my videos out there, the algorithm a little bit. I think if you have some haters, you're doing things right. But that's just not what I'm after. And it kind of sucks that that's how the car culture has went. It's veered away from tuners and doing full customs to where people think it's cooler to do a cookie cutter V8 S10 than to modify and do a custom 4-cylinder setup. It's beyond me, but you know, people have different thought processes on shit. And a lot of people are hard-headed, right? Coming from Texas, I was raised up on like muscle cars V8s, and I love them, but there's a lot of hard-headedness around them, thinking that power is everything. Like, there's people that will argue like, you know, weight doesn't matter about shit, this, that, the other, but they have a boat that can only go straight, right? And that's what not this build isn't that. This isn't a drag build, it's for corners. Just slamming a beer. All right, nice. Dude, I haven't had a beer in a minute. I have actually weaned off the beer. I drink tequila here and there, but a beer sounds nice. I'm gonna take a little sip of my Monster to that. A little cheers to that one for what I can with what I got, right? A little cheers to that. Kind of curious what kind of beer you're drinking, because you are, of course, not in the U.S., so I'm very curious on what type of seltzer you are smacking on, brother. Let's see, precise you for show. My dad has 85 single cab Yoda slammed with a 4-cylinder. Oh, dude, that's badass. So that's going to have the 22 RE, I'm assuming. I almost got a regular cab short bed Yoda mid-80s that was white. It was kind of clapped out, but it had a 22 RE. I almost got it, but it had like 350K on it. It still ran like a top, but it kind of worried me, so I ended up getting a 2.2 S10, and that's kind of what led me to love them so much, and I bought another one, which is this one. But yeah, those Yodas are badass, whether they're 2-wheel drive or 4x4. Let's see, has a body kit and rims. Ooh, sick. Bro, I had access to an 850 BMW Dodge Viper when I was 19. Holy shit, the Viper was insane. What type? Let's see, did you say... What Viper are you talking about? Are you talking about the OG, like one of the first Vipers? Or are you talking like a remake of it, like a later model? Because I like them all. I think all Vipers are badass, but if it was like the first or second gen of the Vipers, that's insane, bro. There's a lot of people that say they handle like shit because of how long they are in the front. But I've had people argue that with what I've learned, that is all down to driving and tires, right? Loggers, bro. Ooh, my boy's got an iron gut. Hell yeah, the loggers are good, man. Sweet, man. That is a good seltzer to be sipping on. Get a good fucking heavy buzz off of loggers. Let's see, and hitting some herb. All right, I get down too. I get down over here in the West Coast. You know what's up. Let's see. I love your vibe, bro. Hey, I appreciate that. I try to bring good vibes. You know, just be one of the bros, real, not bring a bunch of fake energy. I'm going to be more hype on some days than not, you know, or in the same video, it could be up and down, right? But I'm just going to be real about it. I don't like to sit here and fake the funk, because I think that it is just more of attractive content to watch if we're over here just being real, shooting the shit. And, you know, being a smaller channel, I feel like it's a little more relatable at this point in time, right? 'Cause sometimes it's not the most relatable content if it's somebody that has, you know, 150,000 subscribers or what have you. I can sit here and relate with you guys a little more one-on-one. I think that's kind of awesome. But it was a 2000. Oh, sick, a 2000. Okay. Club Sport Holdens were my favorite car to drive. Club Sport Holdens, I'm not familiar with that. Obviously being a foreign car, I'm not super familiar with that one either. I'm very curious, is that like a real small car, almost like a Mini Cooper type of vibe, like something real tiny? Or is it like a bigger platform, like a big full frame? But hey, real, yes sir. I try to keep it real as much as possible. Bro, you got to get a chance to drive a Club Sport Holden, go for it. I will look into it because maybe I just don't know the name and I do know what you're talking about, what it looks like. I'm going to look into it and see. If that's a possibility, that'd be kind of cool to make that happen one day if it's a fun platform to drive. If you're recommending it, I'm sure it is. Let's see. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah, very interesting. Aussie Club Sport Sedan 350 V8s. Oh, okay. See, I'm not super familiar with a lot of Aussie cars, right? But all I know is I've seen some shit where it just blows me away with like their muscle cars. I'm like, what is that, bro? Like, what car is that? They're running a custom, you know, grill bumper on, and it's not. It's just something that we don't have over here in America, and it makes me jealous. But, you know, that's just kind of how it is. Some cars are going to be exclusive with certain models, and I think that's probably a good thing. You talking about like the Holden Commodore, aka Chevy SS? Okay, I'm very curious on that. And with my car knowledge, right, guys, I know a fair amount, but I'm not one of those, like, I don't have like a photographic memory or like the best memory. So I'm not gonna sit here and know like all the makes and models, you know, what drivetrains and what, but I do know some, you know, some of the stuff that pertains to my experience. You know, square bodies, you know, I love K5 Blazers, Silverados, stuff like that. Obviously these S10s, and a few other platforms. I've also built like an old International, like it was a 49 International pickup, a short bed. I did a V8 swap on that. It was a cool build. Ended up selling that, and that's what funded that K5 Blazer project I did. But you know, this isn't the first build I've done, and this isn't the only type of car content I'm interested in. I am big into like off-roading and shit like that, but I'm gonna peep the comments, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Nah, bro, the clubbies, I know more of what the car looks like and models, just depends though. They do look similar, but my favorite is VX style. I'm gonna end up having to peep some of this and look up some pictures and stuff to try to inform myself a little bit more, because I think that's important. I need to, I'm down to learn more every day, right? I think that's important no matter what type of hobby you're into or whatever. Even if it doesn't pertain to your hobby, that learning every day, just even a smidge, is, you know, good for your brain. And I'm going to look that up because I'm very stoked to see a car and learn about a model I don't even know about. Because let me tell you, dude, the Aussies, they got some taste with the builds, and the burnouts, insane. I feel like they got everybody beat on their burnouts competitions and their pit setups. I don't know. I haven't, you know, been to any personally, like an official pit burnout setup like that, but from what I've seen over all the years, the past decade, I think they got everyone beat, right? Let's see, you righty. Yeah, man, I respect, you know, all different car cultures, different countries, with the setups, because they just bring so many different things to the table, right? Because not every country is going to be the best at something, or certain area, right? It could be county or city that has like a track. It's just not going to be the best at everything. It's just not going to happen. So it's cool just to kind of dip your fingers and learn about every different, you know, country and place, like what vibe they're doing. Very cool. Just like over in like Thailand and stuff, like their off-roading setups, gnarly, man, gnarly. But it's just like everywhere. There's going to be that niche group of folks that are just doing their thing, right? Just building the craziest shit they can. Holden Club Sport Pro, going for 150 to 200K a piece now for the new models. Ooh, okay, that's up there. That's way up there. All right, let's see. Wow, 500 horse stock. Ooh, that's a lot of horsepower stock. Hey, I'm gonna head out, y'all. Y'all be safe. I'll catch you in another time. Hey, thank you so much for staying in on the chat, for giving a like. I appreciate it so much. If you gave a subscribe, either way, thank you, and peace out. I will see you in a future video, man. Look up the SLR Tirana 500 Supercharged. My brother had one when he was a teenager. All right, brother. Yeah, I'll catch you in another video, man. But that is sick. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna peep that out, because I just want to inform myself about more vehicles. So someone brings it up or I see something, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's up with that, right? Because you know, we don't always know. Like a lot of folks with these, like with these S10s, you know about the S10s and the Sonomas, but a lot of people don't know about like the Isuzu version. And I don't know why it's not coming to the top of my head. I'm looking like a jackass just bringing it up and not even knowing the name. But there is, like on the 2nd gen platform from GM, there is a Isuzu version with, you know, different steering wheel setup, has a different front end, rear end kind of look. What the heck are they called, folks? I hate bringing something up like that and then not knowing the name of what I was saying. What is it? They're not near as common. Let's see if anybody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Does anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about as far as the Isuzu? What is it? I feel like it keeps coming to the tip of my tongue, and it's not. I keep wanting to say Trooper, and that's not, because that's an SUV. What is the damn pickup, the S10 Isuzu version, folks? Does anybody know? I don't want to have to sit here and go over to Google real quick and ask, or ChatGPT. Let's see. Ah, fuck it. That's not even important, right? But we're gonna chuck this up in the mount. Let's see. Flip it around and see what kind of views we can get. Not quite sure how much longer I'm going to be filming, folks. I'm probably going to go out and do a few more skids, maybe. I did get kind of a little wild with the skids off film. So I have to be, you know, kind of respecting my back tires to a degree with where they're at right now. With that being said, if I get enough people in the chat, I will gladly do some skids. You just let me know. Let me know. Little locker sitting here hopping and jumping. I love these mini spools. I don't care what nobody says. You know, I do welding fabrication by trade. But I think that welding a diff is not as good of an option unless you're in a pinch. I think a mini spool is a way better option. You know, I think with how much effort and time it goes into properly welding a rear diff, I think a mini spool is a way better setup, because that it is reversible if you had to, or if you snap like an axle, you could disassemble it better without, you know, just scrapping the whole fucking housing. Then also, it's 35, 45 bucks. I think mine, let's see, I'm taking that back. I'm not gonna say 35. They're around 45 bucks. I spent like 42 or 43 for mine. I know for a fact it was less than 45. And they hold up. You know, are you gonna get that much welding wire, gas, and cleaning solution, and get it done in under that budget? I really don't think you are. It's possible, like, if you have, you know, wire and gas for your welder, you know, you have gas in the torch or whatever to preheat, post-heat, and all the cleaning solution to do so, then I say, you know, just go ahead, do it. You know, throw in some plates, cut out plates, throw it in there. But for your time, you know, time's valuable, especially nowadays. I think a mini spool's the way to go. And let me know if you disagree, because I am curious. Is anyone watching too? Because I could hit a little skid. I don't know if anyone's watching, but we'll hit some little skiddaroonies. Feel bad for the folks that had to hop off the chat and miss it, but you know, it's just kind of how it goes. That's life. It is what it is. I hope that, you know, they can peep in on the live later on for the parts that they missed. And I'm gonna sit here and clip. What is this? Some kind of training center. I ain't gonna fucking drift this corner, folks. I know better than that. Little boy sitting right there. What the fuck am I doing here? I need to get out of this fucking parking lot, folks. This is not where a drift truck needs to be. We do not like seeing fucking feds and being trapped in a parking lot in their setup. That is no fucking bueno. Stop at this stop sign in case they want to be cocksuckers. Excuse my language. Sometimes I get a little fired up because I've just had previous experiences. Not much here up north. They're a lot more chill, but just cops just fucking with you when you're being good. And that just kind of demotivates you to just really give a shit, right? But I do support cops. Don't think I'm one of those cop haters, because they are very important to keep shit in check, keep people in check, because, you know, people be wilding out, need to be taken accountable, held accountable for what they're doing, if they're, you know, making society fucking worse. But we're not gonna sit here and ramble on those topics. I couldn't slide this, folks. Gave it a little too much steering there, almost fucking lost it. The front, having the front tires bald, they don't grab and they want to fucking push, you know, that rear end being fully locked, it wants to push the truck, so it initiates way different than, you know, with the tires being fully full of tread, right? Very funny that you guys got to see that. You know, it just happens for sure. I'm not one of those that's going to sit here and edit out, right? Obviously, I can't edit on a live, but like on, you know, some videos like me cruising, drifting, if I do some shit drifts, you know, a lot of the time I'm probably just not going to edit it out, because that's just being real, and that's the reality of it. Not every skid on a non-controlled surface is going to be optimal, and that's something you got to keep in mind with what you're doing. You know, you can't get carried away and just be balls to the walls and foot to the floor all the time. And that's what I try to get to a lot of folks. Like, if you're not having super sticky tires on a real wide deep dash setup with optimal suspension, you're not putting down a bunch of power in a pickup like this. You know, maybe if you have a nice coil-over setup all the way around, super grippy, super wide tires, and everything else, I think, you know, you can use that in the wet. But on a budget build, that's just not practical. I will check the comments here in a second, folks, in case anyone said anything about the skids I did a minute ago. So I'm kind of curious if anybody was watching when I got her sideways, because I didn't rip the phone out of the mount. Why is this guy riding my fucking ass, bro? I don't get how people, like, if I'm in the right lane, how they won't just get in the left lane and fucking just go faster. It's like, if I'm cruising, let your boy cruise. Let's see. I'm gonna pull over right here, guys, and see what is popping. All right. Haven't got no new comments, and that's all right. No more likes. We just got 4 viewers, and that's cool. I ain't sweating it. Nobody must have been watching the skid, or they didn't care for it, and that's cool, right? I would be putting the suction mount on the outside of the truck and getting more points of view like that, but with as many people that have been interacting, the views versus the likes, I feel like I'm not going to go too far out of my way to do that, sadly. I'm just not feeling super motivated to risk my phone out on the outside of the truck if people aren't even really engaging, right? That's just part of, that's how I'm feeling right now, and it is what it is. So we're just going to go cruise the truck. We get any more engaging folks in the content, you know, in the chat, I'll gladly give you a better point of view, pop the hood for anyone that hasn't seen it or would like to see it again. Ask any questions, whatever. We're just going to go for a little more cruise. And I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys to death, right? So this live has been going on for about an hour, and I will be cutting it off before too long after this. You know, with that being said, I appreciate all the people that have been commenting, liking, subscribing, just interacting with the live overall. I do appreciate you very much. I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful or throwing shade, you know, because I'm not getting as much interaction as I'm hoping, because I know it's nighttime, it's not optimal. I didn't pre-schedule this ahead of time, this live, and let people know. And like I said, it's just not the most convenient time. So I just want to throw that out there, anyone watching a second ago and now, to just know that I'm not sitting here complaining about that or upset, right? I think this is going to be a dead end most likely, but we shall see. This looks like a bunch of just work trucks and shit. Yeah. Yeah, that is the case with this. Stop. I appreciate whoever is watching. Not quite sure. Could be my old lady. Could be just a tried and true fan. Whoever it is, I appreciate you a lot. Trying to do a little better on staying off my rev limiter too much, because I do need to tune it. What do y'all feel? Do you still pull over out of being kind like that? If the road's open, are you still pulling over like that for them or not? Because sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. If there is a median in the middle, normally I don't, like obviously like a highway. I kind of always don't know sometimes. I'm like, obviously bro doesn't need the room, but I'm not trying to get, you know, someone with a bad fucking attitude to sit here and be like, oh, you didn't pull over, like, you know, because some of the fuckers be running their lights just to haul ass, and they're not even doing shit. You know, so then they'll sit there and fuck with you if you don't get out of their way. I've seen that. But with that being said, you know, they are a lot more chill up here compared to down south, man. It could have been the town I was in that was just really bad. And it could have been just, you know, my personal experience being younger around the people I was around, right? But I don't know, even as an adult, I feel like it's way more relaxed here. They take care of business and worry about the fuckers that are really causing issues. Then we're gonna blip it. Should I lift or just keep going, folks? That's that front end kicking out with the bald front tires, guys. That camber, you know, running heavier camber. We're running just on a tiny little bald patch of tires up front, and that locking rear end, or that posi, that mini spool just really wants to kick her out. If you give it too much angle, it's hard to come back with an uneven surface like that, right? Obviously, wasn't in my favor since it was angled, so it's going to kind of get a lot of body roll and try to flick the truck on its own. But hey, we don't mind getting extra sideways like that. If there's no cars around, we'll be a little more risky and do a little spin out if that's what happens. Not always is it fun when you're getting out of control. Sometimes it's fun to just stay in the throttle and just keep burning rubber like that until it pulls itself out of it. Not always. Oh shit, we are sitting here flipped. I didn't even think to check the camera, folks. Let me see here. Oh, that's what it is. Hang on, folks. This damn this mount came loose in 2 spots. I didn't even notice. Let's see. We got 2 people watching. I'm gonna cut the live. I'm not getting much interaction, which is okay, guys. I really appreciate you watching. And I do have some footage of me drifting earlier off of the live that I will be uploading. I did post a short up here and on TikTok as well. A little snippet of me sliding the truck, so check that out if you may be interested. And like I said, I will be editing a little bit more of that footage and throwing it up on this platform. So keep following the build. I appreciate anybody that has interacted in this live whatsoever. Even if you didn't throw a like or anything and you are just viewing, I appreciate you. And take it easy.